Hey boys, so you're watching this video because you're really trash at Victim and you don't know what to do. Well, guess what? I've played this game 12 hours since launch, #1 Leland, top level, I always win. So you're getting the stats from the pro. I have been playing this game for so long, I woke up the next morning and I had a cramp in my leg from sitting in my ass the whole day. So if anyone knows how to play this game, it's me. So I'm going to teach you how to play every Victim. Now they're all really different styles. If you want to play Sonny, you're going to have to be a little bitch and just hide. But if you're going to play Leland, you're going to have to be tearing through people, going and going. But this is going to be general guide for all people. Now obviously all people play the same, some people play differently. You might be Connie and just ramming through people using bone shards and killing them. You might be playing Leland and playing like a little bitch, just hiding, you know, waiting. But these are the general tips for every person, what you should note and what you should do throughout the match. So let's go through the motions of what a game would look like and what you should be doing. Now of course you can see here I'm playing as Leland. And the minute you see the cinematic end, you should be spamming X, because whatever noise you make there, you're good. Just fall on the floor. Some people will go slow, but that wastes your time. You want to get out of the basement as quick as possible. The next thing you should do is find a toolbox. Forget about medkits, forget anything. Find those toolboxes and get yourself a lockpick. Now you're gonna need a lockpick for the doors. Now personally me, I like to get 2 of them. Now, even though I'm Leland and I'm slow as hell, you can take your time trying to get 2 of them, because those are one of the most important things you need in the game. You need that to open doors, which you need to escape. You need that to open the other sections of the map so you can escape. Or you can get key items that you need. So I think that's like the best item in the game, so you're gonna need that. So I think getting 2 is good, because you're only gonna have 1 when you get back up there if you open the door. Now of course sometimes you won't trust your teammates to get the door, so sometimes you gotta do it yourself. Even if there's a Connie there, you never know when she's gonna be chased by Leatherface. So you don't want to just wait till someone opens the door and just be walking around. You gotta do it yourself. Now, all doors have set spawns, so they don't just keep going this way, this way, this way. So once you learn it, you learn it. And so does the thing with toolboxes. They all have set spawns. You'll find them here, you'll find them there, except for upstairs. They won't be in set spawns upstairs. Sometimes they won't be there. Another thing to note is that on every map, there are certain spawns for the pressure valve exit and the fuse box exit. They all have set spawns that they will spawn every match. In every map, they will have their own set spawns. Now as for the actual place where you do the fuse box and the pressure valves, those are different. Same thing with where those key items are, like the fuse and the valve itself. Next, once you open that door, you might as well just slam it open. You could wait until you see all your teammates, but by then, I think you just slam it open and it will highlight yellow for everybody around you. Now once you get upstairs, that's the tricky part. Sometimes even the killer will be waiting for you at the door what you open. Sometimes they're like that. Now if you're not Leland, you're gonna take a little bit of hits, but if you are, just bulldoze right through him. Now it's really good to learn what killers have what things. Now obviously in the beginning you see what killers they already have, so you don't have to guess like, oh god, what if he's this, what if he's this. You already know. So obviously if he's Cook, you don't have much to worry about. Just, you know, be a little bit more silent. He's super slow. I think Cook is the worst in this game in my opinion. He's really not very good. He might do some high damage, but man, he's slow. Next, it's the Hitchhiker. He has traps and he can follow you through your loops, you know, through the little edges, through over vaults. He can follow you through there, so he's very annoying, and he has a lot of stamina, so you're not gonna be losing him anytime soon. So you're gonna have to be very smart. Hide in thing places, you know. If you're Leland, knock him down, run, find a good place to hide. Those are the good times to hide, when people are relentless with you. The next is Johnny. Now Johnny is also pretty annoying. He has very high damage, but he can't go through vaults like you. So once you go through a vault, then you gotta hightail it out of there, because he will be on you. Because he actually has his perks, which is the toe sniffer, which he can find your footprints and go right after you. The problem with that, which I personally think, is that once you go through a vault, he has to go all the way around to try and get it back. So by that, you can just get so much more distance, you know? Next is Sissy. Now she doesn't do that much damage, but she does have a lot of blood collecting, and she hits you for a lot. It might not look like it, but she's stabbing you and stabbing you. She does a lot. And also her gas makes you look like you're on the GTA 5 drinking animation. You're gonna be intoxicated, you're gonna be a lot. It's gonna look terrible for you. Now, usually it's not such a bad thing, you know, you can probably walk through it, but except it actually groggies you, so sometimes you're like holding the left and holding the right, but you're gonna have to find your way through that. And then good old Leatherface. Everybody knows what Leatherface does. He destroys vaults, he destroys pallets, he destroys little shafts that you can go through. He destroys all of them. That's really bad for you because then you can't go through them once he breaks them. And I think some of them, if he breaks them, other people can go through them. So those are two options you don't want because then they'll get you, bro. They'll get you. Now that we've gone over the killers, let's go back right into the gameplay, which is, so we're up here on the surface level. Now once you get out, every map has 2 exits guaranteed. They have the pressure exit, the fuse box exit. Now I've seen other maps actually have 2 exits that are different. The slaughterhouse has the parking lot exit and then the shipping dock exit, whereas the family house only has the one exit that you run from, the main exit that goes from the house to the road. And then for gas station, they have the gas station exit, the valve exit, and then the fuse box exit. So yeah, I won't blame you for saying it's a little bit confusing, but I just listed all the exits for you, and that's what you should know for every map. Of course, you won't memorize every map, but eventually you really will get to it. Here's one perk I recommend for beginners that everybody gets, and it's intuition. Everybody survivor gets, which I'm so glad because it's super good. Once you get a key item like that valve or like the fuse, you can see where it is. Just look around, it'll be highlighted yellow. Now, obviously, you might get it and you might find somebody. If you get the valve, which I will tell you sometimes the propane tank or the pressure tank, it spawns downstairs sometimes. So if you see it downstairs, don't hesitate to jump through a well. Unless you're like below 25%, don't hesitate. The well barely takes any damage, I won't lie to you. They should probably buff the well damage, but it barely does anything. So if you see that it's downstairs, just hop through that well. But if you see the fuse box, now the fuse box is a little bit annoying. It's gonna be just like math. So if you didn't graduate high school, you might have a little bit of a problem here. But if you did, now here's what we're gonna have to do. It's really just basic addition, you know. This is some kindergarten stuff. Add these two, make sure the colors are right. I only half passed kindergarten, so I couldn't get the colors on this one, so I would just look like a dumbass and I died. Once you fix the fuse box exit, it will automatically open. Now here's the biggest tip I can tell you. Both the exits, the fuse box and the pressure valve, only open for 1 minute. Now, the fuse box exit will always be downstairs. It'll never be upstairs. It'll always be this big steel door with saying need fuse box. Now the pressure valve exit will always be upstairs, but here's a big tip. When you open the pressure valve and you go to try and leave, it won't open. You'll have to wait at least a minute or something around that. Then you will hear a big boom and it will see on the top right of your screen, pressure valve door has opened. Then you have 1 minute to run out, and if you don't make it, you gotta restart it all over again and you'll most likely die. Now do not hesitate to jump down the well when you finish the fuse, because the fuse door will always be downstairs. So if you see a well, if you see killers after you, jump through that well and try and run as fast as possible because you only have 1 minute. Now say you only have 10%, you jumped on the well, and you see you got downed and you're recovering. Now you're wondering what that is, and let's segue right into that. Getting downed. Now sometimes you might bleed out, sometimes they might smack you a lot and you jump through a well, and it says recovering. That's because you got incapacitated or downed. This means that you got downed, obviously. Now you only get 1 down, no more. Once you get downed once, the next time you do get into the down state, you just die. Now it might be a weird death where you're glitching out, but you are going to be dead. But this down state is really good. It's kind of OP, I won't lie to you. Because imagine if I've had instances where I'm in a run, I get downed, the killer's on me. Now, he can't execute you for some reason. Sometimes, I think it's a bug where they can't execute you if you get downed by yourself. But if they down you and they smack you and you get downed, they can execute you, bro. So watch out for getting down in front of killers. Sometimes killers will be dumb and they don't know that they can execute you. So, you can get up and you get 50% of your health back, which is OP because you might have started with only like 10% and they were about to kill you. So that's a pretty good thing about the down system. But remember, every time your heart is beating, like if you see that it's white or it's beating really hard, you're losing HP. Remember that. If you're like down to 10%, it's like, I'm fine. I'll find a healing bottle later. No, your HP will go down slightly, and you will get downed. Now you don't really want to waste your down on just you forgetting, which is really annoying because then you wasted your down. You could use that on jumping down a well and getting back up. But just keep that in the back of your mind that if you're low and you see your heart beating, you're gonna lose your HP. Now here's another thing that I want to teach you. Imagine you have bone shards, right? You know, things you find in the little bone pile. These are important. Now here's one thing, you can kill chickens with them, which I don't recommend. Chickens don't really do anything to you. What are you gonna use chickens for? And you lose your bone shard, you don't really gain anything from killing that chicken. But the next thing, which is pretty important, is you can stab the person that's fighting after you. Now you can do a sneak attack and you hit him from the back, they will get stunned for a while. Or if you don't have time for a sneak attack, you can run back, press RT, and you will be in a fighting phase. Now here you just spam tap whatever you see on the whatever you see on your screen. Now it's most likely gonna be A for Xbox players or whatever the down button is for console. I don't know what it is for PC, but you're gonna have to spam it. Because if you lose that encounter, he will kill you. Now usually it's pretty easy to beat, you just spam it. You might look like you're losing, but you usually get in the end. Determining on strength is how much more you will beat him. But, like I said, if you're a good masher, you won't have to rely on strength. Another little thing you can do with bone shards is you can get rid of those bone things you see hanging around. Because if you walk towards them or if you run through them, they will make noise and they will alert where you are. Now, I don't really recommend that because there's so many of them that there's not really a point of doing them. Because you're eventually going to run into another one. It's really annoying. I just don't recommend it. I don't recommend wasting your bone shard on just something like that. Another thing you can use your bone shard is for disarming the hitchhiker's traps. Also, I forgot to add this for hitchhiker, but he does have traps, and to disarm those traps, you use bone shards. Another thing for hitchhikers, he has traps, and he only has 3 of them, but those traps will hit, and they will kill you if they find you on it. So you better mash out of it. But do not mash all the way up, or you will be stunned for a bit, and you cannot mash for a little bit. So just mash all the way 99, wait for it to get down, and mash a bit more, and then get out. And the last thing you can do with your bone shard is you can stab Grandpa. Now, unless you have the perk right here, which disables levels for Grandpa, which is actually pretty good, I won't lie to you, I'm starting to use it now. And all you can do is incapacitate him where he can't scream for a while. But that's still pretty good, his scream is basically like a Rainbow Six Lion scan, which is very annoying. But now that we're talking about Grandpa, let's segue right into my next thing, which is Grandpa. Grandpa is very impactful for family members and for victims. Now, whenever you see Grandpa get to level 1, he will get to level 1 when you're downstairs, either if you open the door, you make too much noise downstairs, or if they feed him enough. This is really bad if you're still downstairs because the family members will open the doors from downstairs and come in. Now, they're usually going to lock it if they do that, which will be even worse for you because then they'll relock it. And then they will go after everybody who's already downstairs, which is terrible. Which is why, like I said, do not make noise if you're downstairs already. Just spam X in the beginning and that's it. Don't make any more noise or you will ruin it for your teammates. But once they feed Grandpa blood, which they get blood either from the little blood things they find on the floor, or they get it from smacking you, they will get blood and they will feed it to Grandpa. Now, Grandpa gets levels every time, and he will scream more and more every level he gets. It has more intervals for screaming, and the longer it goes through. Now, of course, they have perks for Grandpa, so you'll never know how long he will scream for and how much he will. But usually level 1, level 2 aren't that bad, but level 3 and 4 are when it gets terrible. And once past level 3, eventually, he will start screaming to where even if you stand still, which is how you avoid getting detected and yellowed, which is, basically your aura is being seen. Once he reaches a high enough level, he's just gonna see you regardless if you move or if you stand still. So sometimes it's pretty good to stab Grandpa if you're a victim, you gotta take care of him. Sometimes you can't deal with that screaming because even if you're in chase and you run away, you're not gonna just stand still during a chase and get smacked. You're gonna have to keep running, and so you will get highlighted, and then all the family members will come to get you. So sometimes it's good to take care of Grandpa, but if you have your spare time and you're not trying to escape, go ahead, stab that old guy. And the last thing to get into is perks and attributes. Now there are some very good perks that all people have. I think that some people have specific perks that other people don't have. Like, I know that Connie and Anna have Lucky Lockpicker, but Leland doesn't have it, and so doesn't Sonny. So some people have these perks and some people don't, which I can see why some people would be kind of good with those perks and some people wouldn't. But there are some universal perks that are very good, like Fight with Flight, Choose Flight. That's very good because once you lose your stamina, it replenishes all the way. Just don't waste it too much, or else you won't have any more stacks. You only have a set amount of stacks. And of course, everybody gets Intuition, which once you get a key item, it's highlighted where you can place that key item and open one of the doors, which is so good because that's how you escape. One of the best perks, in my opinion, in this game. They made it super customizable. You can do whatever you want. You can choose whatever path you want. And then we're going to go into attributes. Now, attributes, you can buff up either how much you lockpick if you want to go proficiency. This is so how fast you can lockpick, how fast you can rummage through chests, how fast you can do other items that you need your hands for. Now, of course, there's strength. Strength helps you, beat up the bad guys if you're in a close encounter. They help you open those little hatches to go through, and they help kick the generator when you need to go through the front. It's pretty good in my opinion. Then you have endurance. Endurance is one of the most important things you need in this game. It's stamina. It affects how long your stamina is and how much it will regenerate by. Now, you need stamina to actually survive. So I think this is one of the best things you should be upgrading. Now, toughness is how much damage you can take and how high your health is. Now, of course, most people have really low toughness. I don't know how I feel about toughness, because if you're getting 3v1, you're not really gonna need toughness that much. But I think if you're scared about getting hit and dying easily, go ahead and put some points in the toughness. You can just have an all-rounder build. And that should be, oops, I forgot about this. Stealth. Now, stealth isn't very good, I'm just telling you right now. Unless your character already has high stealth enough, you don't want stealth in your thing. Now, what stealth affects is how much noise you make when you're rummaging through chests, or if you're opening lockpicks, or if you're doing anything that relies on noise. And it also lowers your heartbeat and controls it when you're near people. Now, I don't think stealth is very good. Of course, the noise thing is there, but people know how to spam up to 3. You usually get up to 3 ticks if you have stealth all the way lower, and then you can go back down. It doesn't take too much time. All you spend is like 5-10 more seconds. Come on, you don't need stealth. But if you want to put stealth, I'm saying, hey, it's customizable. Do whatever you want, but if you don't, I'm just telling you right now, stealth is probably one of the worst things you can do. Now, how do you get more attributes? How do you get these perks? This will be the last topic and the most important. It's the skill tree. Now, this is not going to be DBD. You're not going to get every perk. I'm telling you right now. If you want this perk and it's on this side, and if you want this perk, it's on the other side, you're not going to get both of them. Now, how they made the skill tree is, once you go to one side, you're not going to get the other side. And you can't go all the way up and then say, okay, maybe I can go back around. Nope. Once you go all the way up and get all the perks on this side, you're never going to get the ones on the other side. Now, of course, you see these little attribute things when you're passing through them. Those are the attribute coins. Once you get a little by little, you can keep getting more attributes, and you use those coins to level up your attributes to go higher and higher. And now you see this question mark? This is the random perk question mark. So whenever you click on it, you will get a random perk for your character. Either it could be really good or it can be really shite. So that'll depend on how good your RNG is. But usually it's a pretty good thing to do, so you should get it most of the time. But say you finish at the left of your skill tree, and you're thinking, hey, I want the right of the skill tree now. But what do? Well, you see this respec thing here? You can hold Y for it, or whatever button is on your console or PC, and you can respec. So basically, you get all your attribute points back and all your skill tree points back, and now you're back at ground zero. So basically now, you can go wherever you want again. See, that's why it's so customizable. You can do whatever you want, go whichever path. It's so great. Now let's get into the skill tree of your main ability. Now here you can level up your ability any 3 ways. Now either one is stamina, how long it lasts for, how long the stun is, at least for Leland, or how long the lockpicking is, how much stamina it takes from you, and the Connie's thing. It all depends on what characters you have. Usually one of them is how much longer you have to wait till you get it back. But usually all the way in the 3rd slot, of all the way in the top of the tree, you'll find that it's something totally different. Like for Leland, this one, whenever you hit somebody, their screen is gonna look like someone threw a concussion at them. It's gonna be all hazy, it's gonna be like the sound is blurred out. Now I don't know how good that is, but that's definitely something different that he doesn't have. Other characters have that as well. But I guess now you're asking yourself, how do I level up these perks? Because there's no like level ups. I don't find them again like I'm playing DBD, right? Well, how do I level up these perks? Well, this game is play to win. So basically, you level up your perks by just playing. Use the perks. The more you use the perks, the more XP you will get. But just use them, play them, try and survive a bit more. That's also how you level up your ability. You just play, just keep playing. You're gonna level them up, and as you can see, whenever you level them up, they get better, which is great. Hey, I have an incentive to play now. I can just keep leveling up, and they will get better. Now, of course, I'm telling you this right now. What this perk will not go to another character. It will not be level 3 for another character. Once you play another character and you want to use the same perk again, it's gonna be level 1. So you're gonna have to re-grind all the way again. The levels do not go through every character. You're gonna have to re-grind if you want level 3 for this character as well. But here is a big tip for you. If you respec and turns out you want that perk back and you try and look again, it will be the level you left it on. So it won't be level 0 like if you go to a new character and try and see that same perk. No, it will be the same level you left it on, which is very great. Because then, hey, now you don't have to restart all the way back to 0. You can just go right from there. It could be level 3, it could be level 2. And that also gives you an incentive to go look at new perks and say, hey, I'm not feeling this perk, I want to go back to my old ones. And you can still do that, which is great. And that's basically the beginner guide on how to play Victim in Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Now, of course, you're gonna have to learn the layout of the map, you're gonna have to learn where certain things are, you have to learn all these things. But this is just the basic guide on how you survive these damn family members. If you want an advanced guide, please tell me and I will make one. Just tell me in the comments. But for now, this is the basic guide on how you survive this damn game.